The tragic story of Saudi Arabia's sleeping prince. This heartbreaking story of a young Saudi prince moved millions across the globe. Known as the Sleeping Prince, he spent 2 decades in a coma before passing away at the age of 36. People hoped for a miracle, but it never came. So what happened in his final days? Why was only his father by his side? Where was his mother? What truly caused his death? And who was his mysterious fiancée? Stay with us as we uncover the full truth behind the tragic fate of Prince Al-Waleed. Born into one of the world's wealthiest and most powerful families, Prince Al-Waleed was the grandson of a former Saudi king. Raised in privilege and opportunity, his future looked bright. At 16, he was sent to a prestigious military academy in London, intelligent, ambitious, and destined for greatness. But everything changed in an instant. A horrific car accident destroyed his dreams. He crashed into a concrete barrier at high speed, suffering a devastating brain injury. Though he wasn't alone, 2 friends were also in the car. They survived with minor injuries. It's said that when Al-Waleed briefly regained consciousness, the first thing he asked was, "How are my friends?" Then he slipped back into unconsciousness, a final moment that revealed his kind heart and selflessness. Doctors worked tirelessly, but the damage was too severe. They predicted he wouldn't survive beyond 3 days. But his father refused to give up. If God wanted to take him, he would have already, he said, holding his son's hand and praying for a miracle. The prince was moved to a top hospital in Riyadh, and so began the long journey of the Sleeping Prince. His father, Prince Khalid, made caring for his son his life's mission. No expense was spared. Millions were spent on world-class doctors, advanced treatments, and experimental therapies from the US and Europe. For 20 years, nurses provided constant care. His father read to him, updated him on family events, and never stopped believing he could hear every word. Over time, small signs of life gave them hope. Al-Waleed began to respond slightly, turning his head during Quran recitations and classical music sessions. A video showed him moving his fingers during a medical procedure, a moment that went viral, inspiring hope worldwide. But doctors remained cautious. Such responses can happen in a vegetative state, they warned. Still, Prince Khalid viewed every movement as a divine sign. He documented everything, posted updates, and became the public face of his son's struggle, earning admiration and support globally. But one question lingered. Where was the prince's mother? She remained largely out of the spotlight. While his father took center stage in the media, she grieved silently, as is common among many Muslim women who choose to stay out of public life. Yet those close to the family say she shared the same pain, hope, and heartbreak as any mother would. There were also whispers of a fiancé, reportedly a cousin, as is often arranged in royal families. Some say she never married and continued to visit the prince, though this was never officially confirmed. It was a detail that made people hold on to hope, like something out of a tragic love story. Stories of young Arab royals facing tragedy aren't rare. Princes like Rashid Al Maktoum of Dubai and Khalid Al Qasimi of Sharjah lived bold lives but died young. Prince Abdulazim of Brunei and Prince Abdul Jalil of Malaysia left cultural and philanthropic legacies, but Al-Waleed's life froze at 15, and for 2 decades, he remained between life and death. He spent his birthdays in silence, surrounded only by family. On his last birthday, he turned 36. No one expected it to be his final one. Eventually, his body couldn't hold on any longer. Like many long-term coma patients, complications built up: organ failure, infections, and ultimately, heart failure. After 20 years of unwavering care, Al-Waleed's heart finally stopped. His father announced the death in a deeply emotional message, quoting the Quran and thanking everyone for their prayers. "With hearts accepting God's will, we mourn our beloved son," he wrote. The world mourned with him. News of the Sleeping Prince's death spread across continents, a powerful reminder of life's fragility. His story showed that even royalty is not spared from tragedy, and that love, faith, and perseverance matter far more than status or wealth. Al-Waleed may have lived most of his life in silence, but his story touched countless hearts. He will always be remembered as the Sleeping Prince. What do you think of this emotional journey? Share your thoughts below, and if this story moved you, give it a like and share it with others. Until next time.